Hi, my name's Austin Farrell, and thanks for joining me for this recording of Teaching with AI, Practical Guidance for Real Classrooms. In the last recording, I discussed some of the ways that I want to experiment with using AI in my own teaching practice. In this video, though, I want to try to give even more practical support. So in a prior video, I discussed different use cases and tools for AI for educators. But I want to get even more granular. In this video, we're going to discuss the curriculum design workflow with AI assistance. So if you're still struggling to see where exactly you can use AI as an educator to save you time or to make your work a little bit more efficient or effective, and even to produce high quality work, I'm going to discuss where opportunities for AI assistance are within your regular curriculum design workflow. Hopefully this serves as a helpful way to allow you to better envision where you can lean on AI. Now, again, you don't have to use AI for any of these steps within this workflow. However, if you find that you struggle within certain parts of this workflow, or maybe certain parts of this workflow take an exceeding amount of time for you, and you would like to try to reduce that amount of time, then I would encourage you to experiment with using AI in these areas. Now, one last thing I want to mention is that most all of the steps within this workflow are coming from the area of planning and preparation. Now, if you listen to the video on AI use cases and tools, you may remember that there were 4 different areas of use cases that we discussed. One of them was planning and preparation. Most all of the curriculum design workflow takes place in the planning and preparation use case area. The last part of the curriculum design workflow, though, is differentiating, scaffolding, and making sure that the learning experience and learning content is accessible to all learners. So that is within the use case area of differentiation, scaffolding, and accessibility. I wanted to make sure to bring these up because within the area of planning and preparation, the AI tools that we said were very helpful are Penseum, Penseum, Notebook LM, Notebook space capital L capital M, Khanmigo, Khanmigo, Magic School, ChatGPT, and Canva. So I just wanted to make sure to reiterate those tools. Again, this is not an exhaustive list of all the tools that work well for planning and preparation, but these are just some tools that are accessible to any educator to use in planning and preparation for these different use cases. When it comes to differentiation, scaffolding, and accessibility, the tools that we mentioned were Notebook LM, Penseum, Note, Knowt, Khanmigo, Magic School, and ChatGPT. So again, not an exhaustive list of tools, but these are some tools that you can use to get started. So going back to the curriculum design workflow, the first step of that workflow is identifying your learning outcomes. In this area, AI assistance can be used to brainstorm public products for a PBL or a project or unit of study, brainstorming anchoring phenomena for that unit of study, brainstorming essential questions, drafting learning outcomes which are aligned to the standards, generating sample performance tasks or products that you may want students to produce, and proposing real-world context for the learning outcomes. In step 2 of the curriculum design workflow, you deconstruct the standards. AI assistance can be used here to break standards into clear learning targets, to translate standards into student-friendly language, to identify the skill type of each standard or learning target, to generate examples and non-examples of what the standard requires so that it's very clear how a student would demonstrate mastery of that standard or learning target. You can use AI to suggest common misconceptions that students may hold. And you can use AI to outline success criteria aligned to each learning target. Step 3 within the curriculum design workflow is scope and sequence. You can use AI assistance here to organize learning targets into a logical progression, to estimate pacing, to suggest unit groupings of learning targets, to map learning targets to assessments, and to propose assessment checkpoints throughout the unit, to generate revision and reflection cycles, to identify prerequisite skills, and to recommend when scaffolds and enrichment may be needed. The 4th step of the curriculum design workflow is gathering and creating learning materials. Here you can use AI assistance to create organizers and graphic supports, to generate text and text summaries, to draft diagrams and visuals, to compile data sets, produce sample problems and examples, and to locate or summarize reliable sources. In the 5th and final step of the curriculum design workflow, you can use AI to help with planning for differentiation, scaffolding, and accessibility. You can do this by using AI to level text, to simplify or enrich tasks using AI. You can use AI to translate instructions for ESL learners. You can use AI to create guided notes, to generate sentence stems, to provide step-by-step breakdowns to students, to produce enrichment challenges, and to create alternative explanations or models which students may understand better. Again, this is not an exhaustive list of the different ways that AI can be used. And this is also only one way of viewing the curriculum design workflow. However, as you're thinking about your own teaching practice, and as you think through your curriculum design workflow, if there are any of these practices that you do, you can look through and specifically look to the areas that seem to take up a lot of time or seem to give you a bit more challenge. And I encourage you to think about using AI in any of these particular ways. Thank you so much. In the next video, we're going to discuss how we could use AI assistance in our instructional practices. So if curriculum design is the what is being taught in the classroom, instructional practices are the how it is being taught in the classroom. So please join me again to go over how we can use AI in our instructional practices. Thanks so much.